Hey guys, welcome back to the No Holds Barred Network with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, Tiffany. And today's special guest, I guess it's full-time boss time,
Yeah, going on.
Kristain Ross. What is
Yeah,
going on?
chilling. It's a Friday night. Full
I
time boss
I,
chilling.
I know. I feel bad because I feel like you're supposed to be training, and I think I stole you away from.
Usually Fridays it's really tough to make it Fridays.
Mhm.
'Cause me and both Bradley's schedule on Fridays is crazy hectic and trying to get everything done. By the time we're usually done everything, it's usually about this time.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
by the time we
okay.
got that ability to ever make it up there on a Friday night, we would just go up there to pretty much help out at that point. Just see if anything needs to be set up for the night before. See if Maddie needs anything done. Things of that nature, especially Friday night. Any other night's fine for us, but Friday night usually like it would be strictly just help out night, trying to get up there.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on and hanging out with us on the No Holds
Oh,
Barred Network. So I love it. I love it. So guys, if you're new here to the No Holds Barred Network, we're at the Under the Rope series. Here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's referees, wrestlers, promoters, backstage, anything independent wrestling, I got you covered. If you guys got questions for Christian, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions out there. So he
yeah,
said,
bring it on, bring it
yeah,
on.
bring it on. Bring on the tough questions, guys. Like, this is
Yeah,
what we
yeah, the
want.
tough, want the tough ones.
and, and if you guys are out there, hit the like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Share the stream, get some people in here, get those questions rolling. But we're gonna have a party. We're gonna start this interview off right. And like I
Party.
like I like to have everybody come on here, and I always like to ask the infamous question, what got you into professional wrestling?
Oh man, I mean, I always been a fan of wrestling, like since I was like a little kid, and like my mom like would go to the shows with like my older brother and take him. Like I was going to shows, she said, when I was in her stomach, and I always been like a fan of like WWF before it was WWE, like the big characters, like the Ultimate Warrior guys and the Macho Man guys, like the big extravagant, characters and stuff like that. So I've always been attracted to that. And then the older I got, I started enjoying it more for the wrestling, the moves, the entrances, the crowd, hearing the reactions. And the older I got, then more about like the backstage, the politics, who's signing here, who's moving here. So it just kept evolving pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely like that. It's so crazy. Do you remember like your first show that you went to?
Do I remember? No, because she said I was a lab kid at first, so I don't remember back then. But I do remember like when I can start remembering is like in your houses and King of the Rings. I think '94. I forget 90 King of the Ring. I forget which one was in Philly. It wasn't even a very good one, but
Hmm.
my mom and dad had bought us floor seats, and we were right near like Don King was there at the show. I remember that.
Hmm.
Um, Probably '90. I think Mabel won it. So somebody would have to go back and Google what year that was, but that's one of the really early ones that I remember. And then I would go to a bunch of like the in your house ones where like Shawn Michaels, Mankind, Dude Love,
Yeah.
uh, all of them through like the mid '90s. They're the ones I kind of remember a little bit more. And then when I got older, I started buying my own tickets and started going to the show. So it was great.
It's funny because it's like you're bringing me back because those were always like my favorites were in
Yeah,
the 90s. And I remember when they first came out with the In Your House, the original one, and they were like,
uh,
you could go in for the house and who's going to win the house. And then they wind up selling the house. Like,
exactly.
but those are like
Yes,
the best times of like WWE, like as WWF. And it was just like,
right.
it's so crazy. So, but do you remember like your first independent like show that you went to?
I can't remember the exact show,
Mm-hmm.
but I can remember the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I had a buddy of mine who's huge indie fan, still an indie fan to today. He took me to a CZW show that was at the ECW arena, like literally 5-10 minutes from my house.
Oh
And
wow.
Ruckus and Blackout and them guys, he was the champion of CZW then.
Oh
Had to
wow.
be like a 5 or 6. and they had all the gold coming out. I was like, yo, who are these guys? These guys are fucking shit. Like, they got the smoking blunts coming out, like, for their entrance inside of a show. Like, what is going on? Like, and, like, Ruckus did all these fucking cool moves and shit. I'm like, holy shit, I don't see that on, TV when I'm watching that. So I'm like, this dude, them guys are friggin' awesome. So that was definitely my first introduction to independent wrestling. Then after that, there was a few buddies of mine around that time that was like backyarding that wound up going to CZW around that time. One of my buddies actually signed to a major contract that started with us around that time. So I got more into indie wrestling from them guys as well. His name's Joe. You might know. He just wrestled Tuesday.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So how did you end up deciding to train over at Matt Tremont's at H2O?
Well, we knew Matt's was the spot that we wanted to go to. Like, we brought back up the backyard wrestling again, and like a bunch of us, like we brought it back. We're like, oh, let's go for fun or whatever. And then we were older, so like, why don't we rent out a building? So like, we just Google places we could rent out. We seen that like you could host like a private party there, so we hit up. It's like, hey, can we like rent your building out? It's like, sure, here's the waiver papers and then the whole 9 yards. Be safe. We were in like a backyard show there, and he told us about the school. He just got the place. He had it maybe a month, maybe. I was like, Matt Tremont running this school, like, fucking right. Like, it's somebody replica,
Yeah.
Like, the only other spot I would have went to was CZW, because that's where all my other buddies had went to. But being that Matt's here now, so why not train under Matt, who's done everything in the business possible?
It's definitely it's so amazing, and it's nice, like, even like chatting with people and me being able to like come backstage and having Tremont on the podcast numerous times and being with you guys, and it's just like the staple, right? Like, it's Matt Tremont. Like, it's like you can't say anything ever bad about Matt Tremont, about like everything. Who was I was just having this conversation the other day, and I was like, it's so funny how here it is that I was watching him years ago wrestle all over the place, and then here's the school, and then me coming and watching all you guys, and I'm like, wow, like, to watch like proteges of Tremont, it's insane.
Right? And like, me and Bradley, like, we've been friends like since we were like little, and like our whole thing is like when we were getting into like independent wrestling, like we only wanted to go somewhere that was replica. Like, we didn't want to go to, like, no offense to any upper schools, but we wanted to go to like where the bigger names are and people have actually done a lot of cool things in the business. We wanted to be in one of them places only. We wanted to learn from the best, because that's how we strive our skills. We want to be the best at what we do. So
right,
that's where we got that from.
Awesome. Speaking of Chris, aka Rice-A-Roni, he's in the chat. This will always be my thing. I keep trying. I'm going to succeed at H2O one of these days and start a Rice-A-Roni chant. Okay, guys, just I need this to happen because Rice-A-Roni needs to be a chant. But he wants he wants to know dream match, Triple H or Little H.
I mean, I don't know who Little One is, but the man with 3 H's would definitely be a dream match for sure. I mean, why not? And if we're gonna have that match, Trips, I want it at your place. I want it at NXT. I want it in Brooklyn on a takeover. I want it to hold the cards. Like, let's not do it on the mainstream. Let's do it at NXT.
Ooh, I'm with it. NXT's better anyway.
Game wrestling in NXT? What?
I know. Oh my goodness. Oh, hi, Great Harry. He goes, fun fact, I once ordered Matt Tremont pizza when he came to England. Who doesn't love this guy? Seriously. It's so funny. So you know what? So since, we're talking a little bit about Matt Tremont, okay, and everybody all the students pretty much that's been coming on this podcast, I always ask this question because everybody has a different response of how like they felt. But how was it for you to watch him retire at Last Extravaganza?
I'll tell you this, you knew watching it, we were at ringside for it too.
Right.
You knew it was a big fight feel. You could feel it in the atmosphere in the arena. You could feel it in the parking lot watching the line that wrapped all the way around. You knew that night was going to be something special.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. Like, it was just a story being told that was so good, and you don't see that a lot in pro wrestling. So when you're there, you feel the story, you get emotionally invested into the story. That's what really takes you to another level. That's one of the reasons I love indie wrestling.
Yeah, nah, it's great. It's special. Independent wrestling. I love it. I think I gotta be, as I always say, I think I love it more than I love mainstream.
Without a doubt.
For so many different reasons. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love watching indie guys get their break and make it to mainstream. Excuse me. But it's something special about the independent feel. And I'm sure it is for you guys as well, like, to actually be in the ring and perform. So.
It's definitely an adrenaline rush. Like, right before you go out, it's always an adrenaline rush. And once you get in the ring and you're feeling the vibe from the crowd and you're feeling the people, it's definitely a huge rush. Like no other.
Yeah.
Once you get in that ring and you start going, like you're like, once you get to the curtains, you're perfect. Like,
yeah.
Before you get to the curtains, you're like, oh shit, man, it's loud out there. Fuck. All right, let's do it.
We're wild. I'm wild. Me alone being at H2O and being wild and throwing streamers and just fighting with heels and
yeah, right.
It's just like the best part about independent wrestling. You're not gonna get that on mainstream.
No, not at all.
Definitely not. Okay, so another question I'd like to ask, and I do this with everybody as well, is, in your opinion, right, for a fan that's never seen you wrestle before, right, what is the go-to match, like, right now, get on TV, like, getting on the IWTV app, what is the go-to match that they should go see for you?
Go to IWTV and watch me and Chuck Payne. This was the first show back from the pandemic. And me and Chuck Payne, literally, we've never touched before, never won one-on-one. But me and Chuck Payne, that night, we tore down the house. It's on IWTV. Like, literally, go put that shit on right after this and go watch it, because the match was awesome. The match was so awesome that the crowd stood up. They gave us a standing ovation after the match. Just both these guys. And then the main event had to follow it. But, like, we just went in and gave it our all, because the pandemic, it took away what we loved so much, that we wanted to lay everything back on the line. That first match back, we wanted to give it everything. You've been thinking of this, you've been thinking of that. So that is like your kind of like a WrestleMania type match that like you have when you go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
Go check that out, guys. Definitely. I love it. I love like IWTV. I love that we could go back, watch all these H2O shows, which are so amazing. I love that I can definitely do that. But let's also talk about, you and Chris were tag team title holders. So first, before we go into like what's happened now, let's go back to the moment where you guys won the title and what it meant to you guys. Because I know I talked about this with Chris, but I'd love to hear how, you know, like what you went through to like win these titles with, like, you know, like you said, like one of your closest friends. So
yeah, well, first of all, it's a story in itself. It's like, you know, me and him started together before we even got there, you know, and like we were friends, like just growing up in general, always best friends on the road and everything else. And then when we finally got there, we went two different ways. You know, he became a babyface and I became a heel. And then it just so happens that me and him were the first students ever have a one-on-one singles match. Out of all of my Tremont students, we were the first one on opportunity, like 3, I believe. We feuded for a year, which made this good. And then we realized if we just stick together instead of beating each other up, we probably could be one of the most dominant tag team in the whole independent scene. We put our minds together. We did just that. Culminating to when we won the tag titles in our first ever ladder match in a triple tag team match. That's WrestleMania weekend. What bigger stakes is there? It's like, how can you write a better story than that?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. It's nuts. Like, oh my god,
it is like when you think back on it. Like, I'm even gonna take it past. I'm gonna take it till today. Even like we've been pinned in that building one time this year by 440. Billy beat us. And we've beaten every single tag team That came through that building this year.
Right.
We're pretty much undefeated in that building, you know?
So it's
like one team that I really want to get my hands on. So
yeah, it's great. And like one thing that I could definitely say is that's what I love about H2O is even like the story building and the storytelling within all these matches. And even like you said, like you guys were like undefeated, and so that was an amazing moment for you guys to win. Share one of your good friends. So unfortunately, 440H, fuck Ohio. All right.
Yeah, please,
you're like.
Please.
Fuck Ohio. Damn it, Ricky Shane Page, because constantly walking away from me. I keep bringing him stuff. He will not talk to me on the podcast. You just rude. Okay? But anyway. You guys, like, lost the titles, and which was nice because we just saw at Hustle Palooza. We'll talk a little bit about that because there's, like, so much we could go through here.
Oh, yeah.
H2O came together, and I was like, all right, we're coming back for everything. Like, we want our titles back, which was nice. So
baby faces and heels like as a cohesive like team now. Just to beat these guys up, which I love because like, hey, fuck it, let's fuck them up.
Yeah.
Let's get our shit back, you know?
No, get damn titles back. Like, come on.
Oh,
so but with also being at Hustle Palooza, Chuck Payne came in the ring. So now we got stuff going on with you guys. With Chuck Payne, what is going on?
The thing is with Chuck Payne, I get where he's coming from. He wants his hands on 440. I totally get that. But so do we.
Right.
You know? And he wants to start with the tag division or any division that he wants to. I don't care anybody in H2O who wants a shot at 440. But just know that we're going to be the ones to take them out. You know, I don't think we should fight each other. But if we have to do it, let's do it. I mean, get all the best H2O tag teams can get. And throw us in the ring. And the best team going to fight them. I don't care what we have to do to get there. I'd rather not. I'd rather just be us. But I'm sure that me and Chuck and, you know, Paris running things back there now, I'm sure we can come to agreement on something. And I'm sure we all got the same goal, and that's to fuck up 440.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Get that gold back. It's like this chase now to get the gold back. And it's like, I'm really sitting here wondering, like, as a fan, like, what's going to happen when you guys all get the gold back? Like, where is 440H going to go from here?
Exactly. Well, we'll have to see what happens, you know?
You have to see.
Will they still stand by their leader, Ricky, you know? Will Ricky come on our side, you know? Is it going to be deception between them? You know, like, you never know. So you got to sit back and enjoy the ride while it's happening.
Yeah, no, it's been a ride. So we also just had Undiscovered 50, which was crazy as well. So it was so nice. I came down. I usually don't come down to the Undiscovers because I'm usually there on the weekends, and it's a travel for me to come down. But I try to come down for big ones, and the 50th one was special to everybody. If you guys didn't see, I did Indie Talks episodes, so go back after this interview. Go check it out. I have a bunch of footage for you guys that I've done interviews backstage. You never know what's going to happen. Dancing happens. Ricky stealing my my death match pineapple or my cake. You never know what's going to happen over at Undiscovered. But, like, how was that for you guys? It was nice watching Preacher give a speech, and I put that little clip in Indie Talks if you guys want to see that he was talking to all of you guys, and I think that's very special, so that's why I wanted to capture a little bit of it, of your guys' meeting talking to Preacher. But like, how was that? 50 was freaking awesome, and like I say, I want to thank Preacher, Phineas James, always for the opportunity, because he was giving all of us elevated matches, you know, to where he thinks we're at, and I definitely appreciate that. You know, we got to work two guys who are fresh off AEW Dark. You know, last year they wrestled, you know, Road Warriors and WWE Raw. But these guys have been everywhere. You know, they're wrestling a lot of hot tag teams. They're top of the list of tag teams. They're on major companies' radars for a contract. And they're against us now. So, you know, like, it's like, where are we? Let's see if we really are the shit. Let's see if we really are big and bad as we're supposed to be. Let's put our muscle against their mind. Right. Let's see what we can do. And, you know, we went in there and did that. And it was cool because 50, you know, you had Drew and Oliver versus Marcus Matters, which is a dream match for anybody. Yeah.
Austin and Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
The whole freaking card. Gigi and Reed killed it at the end. You had a cash in. He had some debuts in the Battle Royal. Like it was a really cool show.
Yeah.
It was a really, really, really cool show from start to finish.
I love the Undiscovers, and I wish that they would be more on TV, because I definitely would watch all these episodes. And me, it's so nice. And again, having a conversation with Preacher, which is on the Indie Talks, that I was talking to him, like, how do someone come over to Undiscovered and want to come on? And he clearly said, if you're looking to enhance the talent, not looking to come onto the main show, which is great. I think that's very important, because I get really excited, because you never know who's going to show up on Undiscovered. You never know who's going to show up. And it's great because me following different independent wrestlers from all over the place, to see somebody come in and have these banger matches with you guys gets me really, really hyped. And I get really excited for you guys when you guys get opportunities elsewhere. So
it was probably my fourth match in, and Preacher, of course, he trolled me. He didn't tell me. He promoted Mike Orlando coming in. Didn't say who he's facing or anything. So I get to the building, I look at the boards, I'm like, oh shit, it's pretty fucking cool. So me and Mike talk. He's fucking awesome, by the way. He's telling me about all his past stories, how he used to be on the Oakland Raiders, and his previous WWE tryouts, which is really intriguing to me. Being in my fourth match, I'm like, yeah, how was that? How was that? And he was telling me different steps that he had to take, and different things that he went through with the tryouts, and a lot of the larger names that he faced. And I'm like, shit, he just got done wrestling Ryback. Now he's here, and one day wrestling me. So I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? But they're learning steps and learning tools, and people like that, you learn from that. You grow from them matches like that. So I definitely really appreciate the bigger name matches that have been on the scene a lot longer than I have, and that come down to take the time to wrestle one of us. I think that's awesome.
It is cool. And it's funny, because it's I put on social media the other day, because obviously I love all you guys very, very much. You guys know this. I'm always there. I'm very supportive of H2O. I love it over there. And I just was sitting the other day, and I was having a conversation with shout out to Melissa, and we were talking about the possibilities of certain matches, and it kind of intrigued off of Undiscovered 50, because we were talking about, and I started a list of certain matches that I want to see of H2O up against outside talent of H2O. So Matt, I have a card for you. If not, I'm gonna go poke the bear. I'm gonna go poke the bear at Sean Henderson. Sean, come look at this. Can we make something happen here?
No, anything is possible. Never say never in this business, because it could definitely happen.
You never know. Now, just so you guys know, I'm doing this live podcast right now, and I have about 6 different messages blowing up on my phone right now telling me that Alex Zane got released. I love Alex Zane. I love him. He's been on the network a bunch of times, but can we get him over to H2O?
Sure. I'm sure if he got released, you'll see him pop up in the next days in a company.
Matt, okay, but that's what I'm saying. The possibilities of what you can get. You never know, again, on Undiscovered. So with that being said, I know it's such a loaded question, but in your brain, right now, right off the top of your brain, give me 3 talents that are in independence outside of H2O that is a bucket list for you.
Well, now Alex Zane, of course. It can happen,
You never know.
You never know. But bucket list outside of each show, there's definitely people that I've thought of before. One I like to say is Ruckus, because he was at the first indie show I was at. I think Ruckus is amazing. So he's definitely one of my first bucket list guys. Another bucket list guy I would say that me and him would absolutely kill it. Only I say this because I wrestled Dylan 4 times. We had awesome matches, different matches, all 4 times. So I'm definitely going to say AR Fox. I think me and AR Fox, that big man, fast man style,
Yeah.
it can put on like a,
yeah.
I think really, 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 really good match.
Yeah.
And then last on the bucket list, I would have to take it outside the box. I would want to do something first time ever. I want to get bloody.
Oh.
Did a death match, and there was only one death match person right now that I would want to take it to. That would be the king. Whether I got to go to his house or he comes to my house, I think that would be an intriguing battle. See me in his elements with his weapons.
Ooh.
That ring.
All right, give it to me. Take my money.
Do it. Let's do it.
It was funny because I was talking about Arcadia recently, and that's how, like, I think also, like, one of the reasons, like, we were talking about up against, like, H2O outside talent, and Arcadia, like, I know he's, like, retired, and every once in blue you can get him out of retirement, and he just had his banger of a match with Jordan Oliver, but, like, I could only imagine, like, him going down the roster of, like, H2O and, like, the matches that Arcadia...
He was a heck of
he's so good. So
he's
good.
so good. Like, I seen him do something at ECWA at that tournament that Matt was in, I believe, last year. I'm like, oh, he's still killing it, that dude. Like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Arcadia, just, like, come back out of retirement fully, like, so, I'm sure, like, I hope, because I feel like, you know, when you're retired, you're never fully retired in wrestling.
I don't think so either. I think you always have that itch. You always got something. It's like, hey, well, you know, if I do come back, you know.
And I feel like Tremont hasn't even hit, like, a whole bunch of you guys, like.
Yeah, right.
So.
I mean, who knows what Matt? You know, Anita keeps calling him out. I just want him to answer the guy. You know, just tell him no, or just tell him yeah, whatever. Yeah. Give him an answer. Like, you know, that's where we're at with the Anita thing. And, you know, the crazy part is people want to see that match, Matt. So if you're watching, like, fucking say yeah, buddy.
I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have to get him backstage at the next show, and we're gonna have a conversation, Matt. Like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation. If nobody else, maybe I could get it out of him. Okay, like maybe I could get it out of him. So let's go. We have a couple, like, fan tweets. Our friend Good Cop Bad Cop said, with Christian being an anagram of stink air, where are the worst stink in the air at wrestling venue you have wrestled at?
Well, this one is, like, actually pretty funny because we've been in some not so great smelling places down south. I mean, I won't mention any companies, but I would just say the further you get down south to that question.
Damn it, guys. Get your shit together. Like, that's bad. That's bad. Like, so, even for us fans.
Yeah, you'll just see my nose. It's like a tracker. I'll just be like...
It's like...
and look over, like, it automatically knows who it is. Like,
yeah, like, April's in the chat. April, shout out to you. Get the movement going. Wash your ass. # wash your ass. And she's got some things coming up that she's going to start bringing stuff to shows for those people that just, you know, you need to wash your ass.
This is awesome.
I can't. Okay, so we have another fan tweet from our friend Joe Hale. He goes, what's it like being the youngest tag team?
Well, I don't know about the youngest. Definitely one of the newer tag team, H2O. And being one of the newer tag team, like, even when you're in the locker room, like, you still feel like the new guy. like especially, like, on the main roster cards, like, because these guys been not only killing it here, but they've been killing it outside, everywhere. Yeah. And, like, a lot of these guys get big opportunities, and they're known everywhere. So you definitely still feel like the newer guy in that locker room all the time. And that probably will never change. Like, think about it. Like, even, like, when the roster evolves, there's still going to be people that's, like, on this roster and it's this, that. So you're always going to feel like a newer guy, no matter what.
Right. Who's been your favorite to work in ring?
My favorite person to work in the ring is 100% probably Dylan McKay. I just think that style, like that flip versus the big man style, fast versus big, little versus small, however you want to put it. I always love them type of matches. If you ever go back and watch SummerSlam 2002, Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio, one of my favorite matches ever. I always like that kind of fast-paced, big man cuts in with a huge move, or a little man comes and he's doing his crazy flip, and them matches like that, like, it's like the shit out of me. So he was definitely one of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh man, it's so like I like seeing the versatile of different styles of wrestling, fast-paced up against somebody technical, or I mean, it's just.
I would love to work somebody as big as me too, because like me and Chuck is like I said, my favorite match. Like if a Calvin Tank Man ever came my way, you know, I wouldn't mind showing him. You know,
hey Calvin,
what I'm doing over there? You know, I know what you're doing over there. I like to show him here for sure.
Ooh, okay. So now that you said that, like, I'd love to see you and KTB.
Oh man, me and KTB. I think would absolutely kill it too. He's actually a cool guy. Met him a few times outside of time by normal conversation. But absolutely, I love the way he moves in the ring. I love his style. I love his whole thing to getting the crowd going. He's got charisma. He's definitely a guy I would definitely love to get in the ring with.
Maybe one day. See what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I'm just racking my brain. I was like, well, even like outside of H12, like all these possibilities. Like, oh my god, I need to sit like. Seriously have the ability to book a card. And I know Anthrax and we've had this conversation before. He's like, you should book a card. And I was like, I would love to. I don't know. Like,
you're on the right track.
Hey Matt, I got an idea. Like,
listen.
I have a really good card in mind of outside of H2O who could better also like with the H2O benefit. It'd be so great.
That would be friggin' awesome, man.
Oh man. Okay, so you know we were all quarantined last year, all that hell that we went through last year. Did you pick up any like new hobbies during?
No, my work stayed open, so like I kind of had my same schedule.
Oh, okay.
We didn't, but like I work in an office, so like my routine was kind of the same. So as far as new hobbies, Warzone, Call of Duty, freaking awesome. I probably play that game probably at the least minimum 3 or 4 hours a day. So I did pick up one. That was around March. Yeah, you're
there.
Right.
See, I like now. Every time I come into H2O, every time I see Ryan Redfield, I'm like, okay, video game of the week. Like, so that's like the thing. So now I'm going to like start busting your chops every time I see you now too.
It's going to be Warzone, all right?
Oh, I love it. I love it like when people like start with him and everything. Like, it's just.
We talked about our friend JT a little bit before we got on there. He's on Warzone. Who else is on there that you may know? There's a couple Unsanguished pro guys that are on there. Forget offhand. There's a couple people on there. Kid Osborne's on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to all you guys. You guys all playing video games and shit like that. So Reed still owes me Fortnite. Damn it, Reed. Bust his chops.
Actually, Reed's on Warzone now. Reed
See?
They're on Warzone now.
Damn it. It's like I'm getting in on this group chat. Like I'm getting in there with you guys and play. Like I wanted to. I still want to do a big stream where I have a bunch of the H2O guys. We're playing like Fortnite, and we can like set it up that there's like, you know, we're like we could kill each other or whatever like that. We're gonna set that up. We're gonna make that. And actually, what I want to do, and I keep forgetting, I need to bring my Switch, and I'd love to get us playing Switch for the network. I think it'd be pretty funny. So, do you have any pre-match rituals?
My pre-match ritual is pretty much the theme. I think pre-workout, like a little bit before my match. Smoke a cigarette. Seems like it's bad for you, but it's good for me, I guess. I don't know. Calms my nerves, I guess. And then pretty much I wear my basketball shorts on until I'm about to go out. Then I take them off right at the entrance. It's pretty much the same little routine. And I'm pretty much just like, you know, prepping up, getting ready. No big ritual or nothing like that. I'm just thinking about my match and, you know, what I want to accomplish here and try to get the win.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to start a little shit here. And you know where I'm going to go. because I was told I have to. So you could yell at your friend, but it's Rice Cerrone likes me instigating everybody that comes on this podcast now with my list of husbands and the list of wives.
I love you Kevin Copeland live. So yeah, I realized what he did. Yeah.
So when I'm there at the next H2O show, you could like beat him up, you know, we'll put it on camera. That he made me ask you this question.
Absolutely.
So, since I'm the owner of the list of husbands, and it's all out there of my list of husbands.
Well, how about this? Can I hear your list first, so that way, you know?
I need to like update my list because the last like list.
Okay, it was a perfect time. We're live.
So yeah, I have no shame. Everybody that knows me knows that number one husband is Anthony Gangone. Everybody knows that. That's number one. He's locked in. Nobody can ever get there. And now that like freaking Alex Zane is back probably into the indies, Alex Zane's going back on the list of husbands because I took him off because it's like my indie list. So Alex Zane, you're back to like number 2. And then number 3 is Nolan Edward. Nolan Edward. He knows. I told him I have no shame in my game. So
Nolan.
I told Nolan. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "My list of husbands." It was great. Like,
that is great.
It's just a list. It's just a fun list.
Yeah,
nobody take it all serious. Like, there's nothing going on. It's just a fun little list.
List before you know it's a list, you know.
So,
you know.
Give me your list of wives. Give me 3 list of wives.
Oh man. So see, all right. How I'm gonna go by. How can I judge?
However you want to do it, because it's everything. It's just that's how I look at it. I factor everything into my list of husbands, whether attraction, very good in the ring, Bridges. Everybody knows me. I'm obsessed with Bridges. So,
I'm gonna go up like ass kickers immediately because like when I think of like a badass, like Maria Manic is definitely a badass one. Maxie and Pillar is definitely number 2 because she's fucking badass as far as fucking independent woman out there. And then number 3, who else is badass, is also Tara Calloway. You know, they're fucking 3 badass fucking chicks from the indies.
There you go.
Any fucking locker room. Definitely Maria first, Max second. Tara Calloway can kick everybody's ass. So
I approve this list so hard right now.
I mean, look at that list, you know.
I've been doing.
Imagine putting them 3 versus any 3 guys you could think of on the indies right now in a match. It would be chaos, you know. Think about it.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
You know?
my list of husbands and my list of wives is a thing. And just so you know, because of the fact that anybody that doesn't know, and if you're like tuning in new first, you're like, what the hell is this thing? This is something that I created a long time ago that I was like, okay, I was like, list the husband to any like wrestler that I just like adored like hell. And if you watch the first episode of Under the Ropes, when I was doing them with Kyle threw me under the bus to Anthony Gangone because Anthony Gangone did not know who the hell I was until like I started doing that podcast. And within 3 minutes of the interview, Kyle threw me under the bus to Gangone, and I was so embarrassed. And you can go back to that episode, and I've been so much better with my interviews now. And I've had Gangone come back 2 more times.
That is great.
And we talked about how I moved Gangone off my list, and the universe was not okay, and I had to put him back to number 1. This is why he's locked.
There you go. You got to go with popular demand, you know?
Listen. Yeah, it's a high prestige to be number 1 husband. Like, nobody can handle it. So, but thank you. And Chris didn't want me to let you dance around this, so.
Hey, listen, I didn't dance either, you know. I went straight at.
Listen, he was a trooper. He gave me his list. I like the list. I approve this list. I don't approve of Kyle's list of wives. I'm gonna give him shit actually next week. So I approve your list. So I love it.
There we go. Now we're talking. There we go.
Okay, so what's been your favorite moment so far in wrestling?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, first of all, winning the tag team titles. I mean, like, to win title belts in the independent scene in general is fucking hard. To do it at a big promotion is fucking hard. To do it in a ladder match for WrestleMania weekend, it's like, what more can you really ask for? And doing it with, like, one of your best friends that you grew up with, like, what better moment is that? Like, we started off together. We feuded for a year. they combined as tag teams, and then WrestleMania weekend we go and take the tag team titles in a ladder match, climb the fucking ladder up, pull down the fucking belts, and win it. What fucking better moment do you need than that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think right now that would definitely be number one.
Awesome.
But also that a great moment was freaking coming out, and the carousel and the showboat was fucking awesome. Like, it's just a different atmosphere and vibe coming out in that place. That was fucking awesome. Not gonna hold you. Like, fucking
it was
great.
So nice to be able to like watch a lot of you guys, like with me doing backstage stuff and seeing you guys get ready and see you guys get excited. Shout out to Bryce. Like, just like, and I was asking these questions too. I was like, how does it feel to be at the showboat and like Matt talking to you guys and saying like, oh, like, here's this gift, like pretty much like, so
that was freaking awesome. That was special. You go back and watch it on IWTV.
Yeah.
820 at the fucking showboat.
And
every special. The atmosphere was special in it.
Yeah.
That was freaking.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. Me being there, watching other shows there previously.
Yeah. The weekend was great.
That whole weekend was great. And to like watch you guys and get like new fans. I've actually was like going up to people like, you're going to H2O, right? Like, you're going to H2O. I know I was yelling at one of my friends. We were in one of the other hotels that night getting food. And I saw Ricky Shane Page and Atticus and them, and they were sitting down eating. And I was screaming at my friend. I'm like, are you coming to our H2O tomorrow? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, get your fucking ass to H2O then. I'm like cursing in front of them. It was great. So if you guys are not on the H2O train, get on the H2O train. Like, seriously.
Literally.
So
the far moments, that was definitely one of them. And I do actually have one more. My first year when I started hitting the road, I've only been working for like 2.5 years now, but after like 7 months, when I started hitting the road, a promoter hit me up in Pittsburgh, booked me out there, paid me. And one of the biggest like things that like sold me was like, hey, is it okay, if you do a segment with the Godfather from WWE? And I'm like, you can say anything? Like, that's fucking awesome. Yeah. It's like I could do a segment with somebody I was watching on TV, WWE, and I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, I get to have a match down there and then have a segment with the Godfather. I'm like, that's fucking, in my first year in independent wrestling, you know what I mean? And I get to have a promo, cut a promo with him. Like, what? This is friggin' awesome. Like, that was really, really a special moment. It's actually on YouTube too. You guys can check that out.
Definitely check that out. That's so awesome. I love watching you guys grow. It's so cool. It's like the satisfaction that I get, like, watch you guys. I was just talking about that with G Raver the other day. We were like sitting and I was watching our friend Joey Silver because he was just at QT Marshall's school training, and then he was on YouTube, and you just see me and Raver sitting in the back watching Joey's match, and I was like, this is cool for me as a fan, because to watch people that I interview on these podcasts and watch them grow. So
that's one of the cool things about independent wrestling in general. See where this person's going to go at next. Who's this person going to face next? Like, watch this person go from here to here to there. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's so cool. I just, like, again, like, I can't wait to see, like, where your guys' journeys go, which is so cool. So with that being said, what are some goals that you would like to achieve in, like, the next year at least?
I think our first goal is definitely to win back the H2O Tag Team Champions. Our second goal is we want to show the bigger names that's been out there, the bigger established names out there, that we are the real deal. That's definitely a goal. We want to get in the ring with them guys. We want to go toe-to-toe with these guys. That's definitely probably our two main goals right now, to have the bigger established matches, because I'm sure that me and him are right neck and neck with these guys. And we just want the opportunity to show you guys that we are. Help us grow, help the company grow, whole 9 yards, and definitely to win back the belts. We want to establish ourselves that we're not a one-time champion, we're the real deal here. And we're fresh out of the school.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to see what happens. So with that being said, I have one last question. So if anybody else has any questions in chat, please feel free to drop them. But I like to always end off like with a positive note from everybody. So I like to ask this because we do have a lot of fans, and I hear things, people comment, they're like, "Oh, I'd love to train at H2O," or or things like that. But to all inspiring and amateur wrestlers out there, what's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Stay ready. Be prepared to work. Treat it like it's a job. Like you're going there like for like your career. You're trying to better yourself. Try to stand out. If you can get to the front of the line, because you're going to be noticed. Who's ever first, always noticed. Who's ever showing more effort. Get there early, leave late. Talk to as many people as you can, and never stop learning. Never stop training.
Great advice. I love it. I love it so much. So I have some graphics here. For you guys of some upcoming events. Obviously, we have Undiscovered. That's every other Monday. So we just had 50 this past Monday. So not this Monday, but the 16th. Undiscovered is back. Again, you never know who's going to show up. It's $5. So you can't go wrong with $5 and go see a show for like 2 hours. Like, you never know who's going to show up at these shows. Like, even like wrestlers come to just hang out, which is pretty awesome. And then we have August 28th that's coming up too. So we have Street Justice. So that's one of the big shows also. I know Stan Styles, I'm doing a panel with him and Marcus and Billy in a couple of weeks. His show, his intergender show is coming up. Sean Henderson's got a show as well, coming up as well. So lots of things going over at H2O, and we don't know where you guys, because nothing's announced with you guys. So I'm ready for it. I need some.
That weekend, the 27th. Sean announced us in a tag match. It's called Nation, and that very next night's H2O. And like I said, we're coming for a fight that night, regardless. We're gonna see who they put us against. We want 4 for up. Whether we got to fight our way to get there with another team or any teams, we'll see. But that weekend, me and Bradley are coming there to fight. That's a shoot. We're coming here to fight.
Be ready. I'll bring some rice roti.
We're there. We're going to be in gear. We're coming to fight that day.
I bring streamers, guys. I can't stress it enough, even though like I'd probably piss off the refs. But like,
please bring them. Please bring them. All right, now I got to have streamers for my match.
Yes. I need to buy bulk. Like, seriously. I need to buy bulk and just give them out. That, or I'm going to start selling them at H2O.
Streamer Mania.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's the name for my show. That's going to be the name for my show. Matt, I'm telling you. Streamomania. Okay? I got a really good card sitting on my desk. Okay? Like, Streamomania. I'm dead. If not, I'm going to put this out here. I'm going to make it an Indie Talks episode, and I'm going to freaking talk about it.
Streamers is a must. They're a must. 28th, I want to see Streamer Mania.
Yes. I mean, I've been getting people to bring streamers over to H2O, which was so cool to see.
Fill the ring up, please.
Yes, fill it. It looks so awesome, and I love when people dance with it. Austin Luke has caught my streamers, like Nolan Edwards, like dancing around in streamers. Like, just bring them. It just looks really freaking cool.
It's fun, I like when everybody's involved in the show. It makes it fun.
Absolutely. So tell everybody where they can find you if they want to like follow you and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, go on Facebook and just Google my name and type it in.
There you go.
But no, I'm on Facebook though. Just hit me up. I'm a cool guy. Just send me a request. I'll accept it. Any questions, just send me a question. You can send it to my page. The personal, just put in the personal. But yeah, I'm always active. I'm always available. So hit me up, full-time boss, Kristain Ross.
There you go. We're gonna get you on the other social media platforms too. I'm gonna bust your chops because I bust all the H2O kids. I'm like, you need to be on Twitter at least because Twitter's more viral. I feel like. So
yeah, I feel like you as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get you on there. There's a couple of you guys. I'm gonna come heckle and put you guys on Twitter.
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna get you some merch that you can start selling too. So like, you and Bradley need a shirt together.
I agree. And we actually got some new merch that will be dropping out soon. And we're going to put the release date. And on Facebook, they are going to be limited edition. So get them while they're hot. But we'll be dropping shirts soon.
I like it. So, Christian, thank you so much for hanging out with us, letting us get to know you, and all that fun stuff. So I wish you guys luck. Get those belts back. Bring them back. Get them back. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff here on the No Holds Barred Network. Next week we got Mouse coming on, so we're gonna chat with him. So leave your questions. Make sure you're following the No Holds Barred Network and all that fun stuff. So guys, be safe. Support independent wrestling. Support these guys over at H2O. They're doing the right thing over there. And we will talk to you guys soon. You guys have a good night. Bye.